Gentlelady yields back, and appreciate that. And now I'll recognize the chair of the full committee. She gave me the opportunity to chair the subcommittee with the broadest jurisdiction, and I appreciate that very much. So I'll recognize Mrs. Rodgers for 5 minutes for an opening statement.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's hearing. This committee, and this subcommittee in particular, plays a vital role in advancing American competitiveness and global technological leadership with our values, as you stated, Mr. Chairman, freedom, human rights, and human dignity. Blockchains, Web3, and other applications of distributed ledger technologies represent a new technological shift comparable to the breakthrough of the internet. And we need to ensure that America, not China or Europe, is charting our path to lead in the deployment and standard setting of these technologies. Our mission on Energy and Commerce is to help foster and to promote innovation in American technological leadership. We led on passing the Telecommunications Act of 1996, which was foundational to the evolution of the internet. The innovation and entrepreneurship that followed represented some of the greatest accomplishments in American history and the world. We must ensure that we can lead the next era of American innovation and entrepreneurship with a regulatory environment that keeps pace with the constantly evolving tech sector. That's especially true with blockchains. For this reason, in 2016, the Energy and Commerce Committee held one of the first congressional hearings on blockchains. In the years since, the technology has continued to advance as entrepreneurs have found new and exciting applications. Additionally, at the end of 2020, my legislation, with the help of the then chair of the subcommittee, Chair Schakowsky, the American Compete Act was signed into law, which required the Department of Commerce to study ways the U.S. can advance several emerging technologies. Part of the legislation in the package, led by Representatives Guthrie and Soto, requires a study on blockchains and ways for the federal government to promote American leadership and adoption. We continue to wait for this forthcoming report from the Biden administration to provide the committee with pro-innovation recommendations. Unfortunately, the report is now far beyond the statutory deadline, as well as the requested extension we allowed. As with any new technology, we must move quickly. While the U.S. led in the creation of the internet, we could easily fall behind with Web3, the next generation of the internet. According to public filing data, less than 40% of blockchain companies are headquartered in the United States, and that number continues to decline. As we saw with Huawei and 5G, when we don't lead, our adversaries fill the void. It is critical that America leads, especially given the implications of these new technologies. Big tech has developed tools that interact to track Americans, both online and offline. Technologies like distributed ledgers can align with the goals of comprehensive data privacy legislation. I'm excited about that. By enabling people to reclaim control of their personal online data, and by limiting any one company's ability to control and collect the information that we share online. As these technologies are deployed, the U.S. develops standards to regulate them, and we have a responsibility to ensure entrepreneurs and small businesses can continue to thrive. We've often celebrated they're the engine of our economy, while larger companies can navigate complicated regulations, like GDPR in Europe, or a patchwork of state laws. Smaller businesses cannot afford the high compliance cost. Embracing innovation, entrepreneurship, and free markets is what's made America a global technological leader, not overly prescriptive regulations. While securities and commodities are just one of the many uses of blockchain technologies, there's reason that the Gramm-Leach-Bliley Act doesn't regulate, nor should it, the use of Americans' personal information outside of the financial sector. Congress needs to have a conversation about what blockchains are and are not, to ensure that the heavy hand of government regulation doesn't force blockchain startups to reevaluate if America is the best place to begin their business. When this committee worked on the Telecom Act, we never could have predicted the power of the internet. Now as then, we do not know how powerful blockchain technologies will be, but we do know America should lead the way. So I look forward to an informative discussion today, and I yield back.
I thank the chair, and now I recognize